Is because when a jet fighter falls out of the sky in a heavily populated area, you might expect a major disaster, but remarkably, no one was seriously hurt when an F-16 fighter plunged into a Southern California warehouse near a busy freeway. Slow-motion dashcam video captured the jet as it slammed into the building and punctured the roof in Riverside, east of Los Angeles, yesterday. A dozen people on the ground were...
Hold on. Okay. So you've seen it coming in from that area, right? I mean, you know, it hit right here, went down. I don't know how fast you think it was going to, like, when it hit the roof. And I'm sure it would at least go through the, it should go through the back and explode out. I mean, I would just assume that is the back of the, because that's the street right there, right? So there's that.
Treated for minor injuries, the pilot ejected to safety. David Begman
that's
shows
cool.
us some very scary moments for people inside the building. David, good morning.
Gail, good morning.
Hello.
We heard from a witness who said the noise was deafening as that fighter jet crashed into the building. We're hearing from the military that apparently the pilot was having some type of hydraulic problem, and the eyewitness reaction was dramatic.
Holy dude.
Look at that destruction inside the warehouse.
Look at that destruction inside of the warehouse that is there. Look at the wall and that the ceiling. It came through here, and I guess it just kind of landed. Like it's like.
It's located right across from March Air Reserve Base.
That's a military airplane in our.
So I'm just like thinking, like, how does it drop to the ground when it was flying? Let's take a look back and see how it was flying again.
Motion dashcam video captured the jet as it slammed into the building and punctured the roof in Riverside, east of Los Angeles, yesterday.
A dozen people.
So it's going in here. I mean, you know, it's crash landing. What do you expect? It doesn't. They don't go any slower just because they're crash landing. They're still falling, and they're gonna. Well, you had a problem with the hydraulic system. It was a malfunction with the computer system, like the AI technology had a malfunction in the hydraulic system. So I guess when AI is taken over by the wrong people, then bad things can happen. But if AI is taken over by the right people, well, then good things are going to happen.
Said the noise was deafening as that fighter jet crashed into the building. We're hearing from the military that apparently the pilot was having some type of hydraulic problem, and the eyewitness reaction was dramatic.
Holy dude.
Look at that destruction inside the warehouse.
Look at that
It's located
destruction.
right across from March Air Reserve Base.
That's a military airplane in our building.
Yeah,
Through the
right.
pool of dust, workers could see that giant hole and scattered debris where the F-16 fighter jet crashed.
One of my sales rep looks and says, man, that plane's going down.
Frank Sandoval owns an auto shop in the warehouse. He says he was just testing parts right where the jet crashed, but had left the area 10 minutes prior.
We hear planes all day long, at least 20 times a day. You just never think one's going to fall out of the sky.
Traffic was backed up for miles over 215.
Airplanes,
It runs right
helicopters,
between the Air Force Base and the warehouse.
anything else that
Cal Fire
flies in
Captain
the
Fernando
sky,
Herrera
they're
says it's
all
lucky the plane's
dropping.
explosive jet fuel
they're all
at night.
colliding. People don't know how to drive anymore. There's problems with the motors, engines, airplanes.
There wasn't a large explosion. There was
Like Boeing 57s
injured
and private airplanes and
pilot survived.
companies.
We didn't
It's
have a
all
tragedy.
For
crashing
this
down.
community, military
Things are
planes are
just
a
starting to
familiar
drop
sight
from
and
the
sound.
skies.
But something like
Severely, the pilot survived. We didn't have a tragedy.
We hear planes all day long, at least 20 times a day. You just never think one's going to fall out of the sky.
traffic was backed up from
Just never think one's going to fall out of the sky.
And
private airplanes and companies, it's all crashing down. Things are just starting to drop from the skies.
Cal Fire Captain Fernando Herrera says it's lucky the plane's highly explosive jet fuel didn't ignite. Warehouse of jet fuel didn't ignite. Warehouse sprinklers did extinguish what was a small fire.
That's pretty remarkable that it fell into a building. There wasn't a large explosion. There was no civilians injured severely. The pilot survived. We didn't have a tragedy.
For this community, military planes are a familiar sight and sound, but something like this is rare. Balder Castro helped to evacuate an injured coworker.
I was thinking they were hot dogging and they're breaking the sound barrier, but nah, and it shook the whole building.
Hot
So we're
dogging?
all lucky to be alive.
I don't know why he got hot dogs on his
No
mind.
major injuries. The F-16 was part of a training mission with NORAD, which defends the U.S. and Canada from air attacks. They wouldn't tell with NORAD, which defends the... It's incredible. No major injuries. The F-16... It's incredible. No major injuries.
Touchdown in Sandwich, Illinois. That's up near Chicago area. A tornado in Sandwich, Illinois. That tornado did not do any damage or did not hurt anybody. Unbelievable. It was out in the middle of a field.
You said it. What was that? What'd you say?
Unbelievable. It was out in the middle of a field. It went for quite a ways and then it picked up. There you see the crash, you know, that F-16 into that building there in California. It was a very, very devastating situation.
Man, that is scary.
There. And there's the tornado it touched down there look how big it was. Huge. But the good news is,
Yeah?
never hit a house.
Oh.
No damage, no one hurt.
Whoa.
Sandwich, Illinois.
Well, how can that be? I mean, how can that be if it's so, like, it's a tornado that's, man, it looks like it's gonna really, it looks like it could demolish that house right there. That whole thing right there, it looks like it could, but it can't, because God is not in the wind. And when the earthquake comes, God is not in the earthquake. And when the wind comes, he's not in the wind. He's not in the tornado, he's not in the earthquake. He's just not in these things because he's not in the fire when the fire comes. Because the fire can't devour the house either if it's the same beast, that image of the beast right there.
Situation there. And there's the tornado it touched down there look how big it was. Huge. But the good news is, never hit a house. No damage, no one hurt. Sandwich, Illinois.
There was a fire official who said it is a miracle that there wasn't some major explosion.
Yeah, looking at the pictures, very scary. I like what the guy said. We hear planes all day long. Yeah, looking at the pictures, very scary. Yeah, looking at the pictures, very scary. Yeah, looking at the pictures, very scary. I like what the guy said. We hear planes all day long.
Yeah, looking at the pictures are very scary. Yeah, they're very scary. I mean, when you look at the pictures, they're very scary, you know? But it is a miracle that nobody got hurt. No major damages. It's almost like the hand of God is like helping them crash land. Like, because they have none ability in their hydraulics. Because I'm like, let's see, let's push, okay. No more hydraulics.
There wasn't some major explosion.
Yeah, looking at the pictures, very scary. I like what the guy said. We hear planes all day long. You don't think it's going to fall out of the sky.
Right, taking off and landing.
Yeah.
And private airplanes and companies, it's all crashing down. Things are just starting to drop from the skies.